Before reading Theology of the Body, I thought marriage was a selfish approach. I get to be with someone who loves me, they get to be with someone who loves them. We get to live this happy family with kids. We get to worry about ourselves and no one else. And then I was reminded that marriage is a sacrament. It is a vehicle that we ride in to become the people we are called, created, and redeemed to be. And what does St. Paul say about marriage? He says, "Therefore a man shall leave his father and mother and hold fast to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh." This mystery is profound, and I am saying that it refers to Christ and the church. St. Paul is saying that our married relationship as a man and a woman points to Christ's relationship with the church. What did Jesus do? He laid down his life for the church. He says, "Behold, this is my body, which is given up for you." And then he did give up his body. And then what does Jesus say? He says, "A new commandment I give you. As I have loved you, so must you love one another." And again, how does he love us? He gives up his life for us. He doesn't hold anything back from us. If our marriages are supposed to represent that, which they are, they're the most selfless things we can do, to give up our entire lives for someone else, so that they may come to know Jesus more. So we don't get married because we're lonely or because we want to take all these things. No, we get married because we want to be a complete gift of ourselves. St. John Paul II says that man only finds himself in a sincere gift of himself. So we figure out who we're called, who we're created, who we're redeemed to be through giving ourselves completely to a woman, and for women to give themselves completely to a man. And by doing this, we're representing Christ in the church. We're pointing this earthly reality to a heavenly reality. We get to evangelize through our relationships, through showing love, which again is willing the good of the other, not grasping, but giving and receiving, mutual self-giving. And the marital act, sex itself, is supposed to point to our relationship with God. He gives himself completely to us. We give ourselves completely to him. It's exactly what we do when we have sex in the context of marriage. We say, "I've committed my entire life to you. I did it on the altar in front of all of our family and friends." And then when we have sex, we say, "I recommit my life to you. I give you everything. I accept all of you." We say again, "I commit myself, my everything to you. And I accept all of you as well. I want to be a gift for you, and I accept your gift for me." It's exactly what God does to us. He offers himself up as a complete gift to us, and we get an opportunity to accept that gift, and then give ourselves completely to him as well. So this long story, summarized as succinctly as I could, all comes down to this. We were made to be in a relationship with Jesus. He is our number one desire, and our relationships with one another point us to that relationship with him. There's an eternal joy that we desire for each other and even desire ourselves. And in marriage, we can point each other to that. And a marriage lived for Christ and one another can even point others to Jesus. So let's evangelize through our relationships. So this thing called marriage, not selfish, completely selfless. May God bless you, and I hope to see you again next time.